Hello, everyone. Welcome to another skill share from Cloneshouse, Nigeria, an organization that provides technical assistance to individuals and organizations as it concerns results-based monitoring and evaluation. Today, we will be focusing on how to use Google Drive to create surveys, and part of the content of the lessons would focus on when to use your surveys, types of online survey tools, types of questions in surveys, and we will be doing all this while going through demonstration online using our Google Drive. First, you need to be connected to the internet. So you need internet to create this survey. So when do we use surveys? I'm sure in our daily lives we answer so many questions that pop up into our face. You're in an airplane and you just saw several questions in the plane saying you should answer. In stores, you get feedback questions. Every day of our lives is full of feedbacks on what we do, what we use, TVs in stores, even in grocery stores. I mean, people want to get feedback of the products they give you. But as monitoring and evaluation officers or advocates, we do use questionnaires or what we call surveys based on what we refer to as result chains. Some people might call it result chains, some call it program theory, some call it theory of change, logic chain, outcome mapping. There's several names that have been used for this. But yes, in this skill share, we'll focus on result chain. I will be using result chain, and so based on which normally starts at the input stage, which is the what we put in, resources that we put in into a particular program. But with this skill share, we'll be focusing on using surveys, which is always common when you want to get data that points you at indicators that during your immediate outcomes. For example, you have a program that focuses on strengthening STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths amongst grade 5 pupils. If that is what your project is all about, you will have several activities depending on all the activities you said you will do. Maybe one of the strategy you're putting in is capacity building, which is training of which activity might now be training of these pupils, perhaps once in a month, on several components of STEM. So you would want to measure at one point, you do your trainings, you would want to measure what was the result of the trainings that you've done for this grade 5 pupils. So you would want to use a questionnaire or a survey, and that will be at your immediate outcome stage, because your output will be, yes, you've been able to put in, you've been able to reach over 70 pupils, grade 5 pupils in your program. Now you want to know, out of those 70, how many, what is the percentage increase in perhaps the knowledge of, for instance, mathematics. What has been the increase in knowledge based on that? You will need a questionnaire for you to get a feedback. Don't forget, you have 70 pupils in within your program. So you will need to create a questionnaire for these 70 pupils who are in your program, for them to complete maybe in the third month, after the third training that you've given to them, to know the level of knowledge they now have with what they have done. Yes, it is not to say that surveys are not also created, at the beginning of your program. So before you started the program, you should also have a questionnaire which asks them what their level of knowledge is. Are they beginners? Are they intermediate? Are they now professional? Are they now experts? So you need to use this survey at the beginning of your program, at the end of the training or the program as well. There's a theory that also says that instead of you using a pre-training and post-training, will be also good to use perhaps a questionnaire after the training that asks the same question you asked at the beginning and also at the end. So you combine both and do that when the training ends. So it's important to note that surveys should be used at the beginning of a program and also at the end of the program or activity. So if you're bringing people to town hall meetings, you're doing a focus group discussion, you're conducting rallies, which is meant to educate people, it's good you get a questionnaire at the beginning of the program to know their level of knowledge, and also at the end of the program to know what has changed, at least at the immediate outcome. Of course, as internet has become so ubiquitous, there are now more internet tools that could be used in creating surveys. For this particular skill share, we will be focusing on using Google Forms because it's available. Almost everybody uses Gmail. If you have not been using Gmail, will be a good time for you to switch to using Gmail as well. So types of survey tools, will quickly, the most popular one that people do use is SurveyMonkey. You can find it at surveymonkey.com. There's the basic free version. You could have the one that allows you to pay for $26 per month. There's ones for $300 per year, and there's the platinum, $780 per year. Definitely you're restricted to the number of questions you can ask. You cannot ask more than 10 questions in the basic free version of the SurveyMonkey. There is a type form, which to me, people that don't like or want people to fill forms in an interactive way could use the type form. It also comes with $25 per month package. Google Forms are free. Once you sign up with Gmail, it is free. But that's not to also say that there is the enterprise version, which your organization can also be paying for. It's $5 per user per time. Um, yes, those are three tools we will focus or we will talk about now. But for this skill share, yes, we'll focus on using Google Forms. How do you get there? All you need to do, if you're in, you could actually use your Gmail, just sign in into your Gmail. This is my own Gmail account. Just to your far right, you're going to see this button. Click on the button and you will see several applications in here. There's a whole lot of applications that come with your Gmail. Maybe you want to try some of them out. Calendar, you could use it for scheduling meetings, very good. You have the Google Meet, which is the same thing, could be the same thing as your Skype. You can use that as well. Contacts, this has a whole lot of all your contacts in it. You could create groups easily using this icon, and also your PowerPoint slides. So we're mostly interested in what we call the drive for us to create the form where we would have a questionnaire. So you click on drive. Don't forget, we are trying to create a questionnaire that we will be giving out to the 70 participants of our program, in which we are trying to strengthen STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for grade 5 pupils. And once you click on it, this is so it shows you like a bank of everything you've been doing inside Gmail. If you've been using some of the apps, it is being stored in a drive. It's just like your hard drive. But yes, there's a storage. Um, there's a minimum and maximum storage you can have depending on if you're using the enterprise or you are using the paid version. I'm using the paid version presently. You can see Cloneshouse Nigeria here and my name as well. So you go to new, there's a tab. Just quickly to say that if you're using Chrome web browser, which is what I'm using presently, you should always update your browser so that you can get an updated version of any of the applications you're using. I click on new and more, then you get the forms. So all you need to do is click on the blank form. You can walk around from a template as well, but we're most particular about the blank form. Yeah, so on your blank form, you will see a template like this. Of course, you want to name your form. Um, STEM survey. You could name your program EduBase STEM survey. Of course, it is important. So you change this, it changes automatically here as well to EduBase STEM survey. And yeah, following the ethical process during survey execution, you should take cognizance that you're supposed to provide a statement to inform. Yes, you need to inform people or the responders, that's now the 70 participants, on why the research is going to be carried out, the possible outcomes. They should have a clear understanding of what it is. So you can type that here. So you could type something as easy as that, and that will be it. And yes, I mean the different. So we are now in the Google Form um, templates. What you will see as default is definitely questions. Just click on it, and it shows you different kinds of questions. You can So you have the short answer. That in surveys we always have the open-ended question and the closed-ended question. Um, there are different kinds of open-ended questions. Open-ended question. I mean, closed questions. The different kinds of closed questions. Um, Closed questions there gives you alternatives for you to pick from, while the closed the open-ended questions gives you the opportunity to make comments and remarks. Most times you see open-ended questions at the end of a particular survey. um, but in closed questions, yeah, you could have different kinds of or types of questions. You could have the choice of categories. You could have um, a rating, which is called linear scale in Google Drive. You could have differential scales as well. You could have checkbox. You could have um, rankings, multiple choice grid, um, and yeah, short answer questions, which is open ended, which could be open ended. So, like, what's your name? Can you give us your name and all that? So, we will start with this. You can in Google Drive, it gives you here how to ask your dates, your time. People can upload their files. There could be a drop down box. There could be check boxes and also multiple choice questions as well. Um, so also you could so if you can look at this and put in maybe your name at first. Because of the artificial intelligence that is built into Google Drive, you can see it already gave me it already switched by itself to short answer. You could give a description as well, a short description to guide the person. So, so you have come to record this button down here and click on description. So your name to me is not always acceptable. I would rather use your first name. Kindly impute your given name. So that's a guide question to this. So this will be the first question I'm asking, and what I will do is you can see this button. I change it to blue. It means it's now a required question. And it's a short answer text. Um, After your first name, what I would ask for is a duplicate of it. So I just duplicate. It comes with a short answer because it's almost the same thing that I'm looking for. I could ask your last name because of context as well. In some countries, last name is not always doesn't always occur to people. You might change it into Sonny. Some people use father's name. Depending on the context which you're working, you need to also understand that as well. Don't forget, respondents are meant to answer this question. So you need to consider the environment you are and to know how you put in the wordings for some of these. In West Africa, in some of communities where I've worked with in and administered questionnaires, they are mainly conversant with um, your father's name or your son. So it's still required, and yeah, I have this as a name. What I could have done also, yeah, your father's name, and you could continue to ask, um, for instance, your age, because of artificial intelligence as well. Something has happened here. There is a validation that has already been added, which means that, yeah, I can actually say that you can only add numbers. So you cannot impute, if it's going to be filled online, you cannot impute, for instance, 17 as in word. So it means you can only impute in numbers. That is what this means. Yes, that is what it means. It means you can only add numbers as your age, maybe 56, 56, 7, 8, but you cannot add it in word. I can change this as well and say kindly input your age in numbers, e.g. 25, 37. So I have that as a guide, and yes, is a short answer as well. I could go on and also ask more questions, so I can also duplicate and say, did you attend the mathematics ideation? Maybe we call that session mathematics ideation. Automatically, it has given me suggestions and is now a multiple choice question. So, yes or no. We change this to, yeah, multiple choice. You can only answer one question. So, yes or no. Um, what you can also do is to create, so you can add sections to your forms. So you can add another session to this. In fact, I can bring this. So I could have different sessions, and Let me first delete session, or I move this section. I want to move this session. Yeah, so I already have section 1. Then I delete this session. Oh, it's already a session. I wanted to move this session down. So what I can do, move session. Let's merge with above. So we have 1, your first name, your father's name, your age, did you attend? So now here I can create a new session afterwards. Yeah. So this now takes me to ideation. So in this session, I'll be asking more about what happened at the mathematics ideation session. I can now add question by pushing the plus arrow and said rate the venue of the math ideation. So if you pick 1, 4, I change this to 4 Richter scale. I don't want to bother myself. And if you pick 4, it means is or I do satisfactory, unsatisfactory, 4, and satisfactory. I can duplicate or add more question and now say what is your knowledge? So with this, you look at the is it still a beginner? Is it still an intermediate? Skill? Are you a professional? Are you an expert? You can use this as a pointer to the indicator you're looking for. So there's a reason why we had to put this in session. So one thing you can do is, based on this question, you can allow people to go to a particular section. So that's a logic. That's what we call logic in creating surveys. Where if you answer yes or no, maybe if you answer no, it stops there. The questionnaire stops there. If you answer yes, Then you move to the other session. Go to session based on answer. So you can see when I click on that, it tells, so you're now supposed to tell the form, if you click on yes, continue to next session. So that's the session 2, which we refer to as mass ideation. But if you say no, then we submit form. Yes, we can try out our hands in several other questions that are within it. But yeah, I mean, this is just a short description of how you can use your Google Drive, which is free, in your Gmail account to create surveys like this. One might want to ask, yes, you've created a survey. One, how do I send it to people? Yes, you can use this button to send to people, but at first we might want to check the settings, which is very important. The settings might allow you not to be able to share with people. It might restrict people from responding and all. So you need to check your setting. You can see it can actually collect email address, so it will add email address to your question. That's what it means. This is restricted to Cloneshouse Nigerian users. I can uncheck this so that you can see it. Respondents can edit after they submit. If you want them to edit, maybe they made a mistake after submission and they want to edit, they can do that. You can see summary of charts and text responses as well. So I will leave it at this and save. And I can try and preview how my form looks like. Let's see, preview, and it's going to open. So this is how your form would look like. If you click on next, it shows you the next set of questions. Yeah, because we have segmented, we've put the form into different sections. One good thing that we normally also do is to print out. So assuming you're going to use this in offline, which is what we do normally in administering questions with beneficiaries of large projects in communities, rural communities. You need to print this. You won't send an online form, but what you can do is print this easily. Just click on print and you have your form perhaps in this format. You can see it already, and you can save it as PDF and later go and carry the form and print. One key way of us doing it, and we print and take to the to communities. Also, it will be nice if you have comments, suggestions, please also add it. Make comments on this blog post and on this video as well. I think it's nice if we can exchange ideas. You can, for you to get the link, if you want to use it online, one other method you can use in achieving offline is, yes, you have data clerks that are in communities that are supposed to administer this survey. You can make them print this and they administer the questionnaire in the various communities. They do not need to come back to you. They can actually enter each response from respondents in communities coming back to this form. Then you would add a question which will have a number given to your data clerk specific number they will enter while filling this form, so you know that, oh, this is data clerk 101 submitting this form. That's also possible as well. Let's go back to the online method. You click on send, and you can put as email. You can send in an email document to people. You type their email address. It will send the form to them. You can get the link, send via, this is the link. So you can copy this link and send, just Control C, then you can send to people. You can, because it's a long form, some people might be difficult, you shorten it. Just click on shorten URL and you shorten in that manner. Then you copy and send as an email, put on Facebook, put on Twitter. In fact, you could tweet it from here, you could share on Facebook, you could share on Google Plus. For programmers that might want to embed this form on a website, you can copy this iframe and embed. Yes, you would also wonder, so I have this form, I've given it out to data clerks, or I've sent it out online. How do I know get responses? Actually, you could see a tab for question, you could see a tab for responses, especially in the new updated Google form. You have responses, just click on it. And it's already telling us 0 responses. But you see this, you can create a spreadsheet. You can stop accepting responses once you do this. But we need responses. Then you can create spreadsheet. Just click on create spreadsheet. Edu-based term survey, create. So it's going to create a new spreadsheet where you can see people completing the form. As they are completing the form, you see timestamp, you see your first name, father's name, your age. You will see results in here, and you can do analysis. On the next video, one of our next skill set video we will be running, we will be focusing on how to do real-time data analysis using the spreadsheets that you've gotten. So you could actually do real-time analysis, sorting, filtering, using the spreadsheet. So this is what you have, and the good thing about this is you have all this inside your drive. It will be included in your drive automatically. So for instance, if you look at your drive, it should be there. So the Edu-based term survey responses, I go to my drive and I do Edu-based. You can see both, they are already here, and it means that I can use them. I can always come back here and pick it. What if you have any questions, suggestions, comments? Please don't forget to put them just below this video. If you're reading it as a blog, please make comments and as well. It will be useful. Maybe there are other methods in which you use in creating this online survey. There are other tools you could explore as well on this Google Drive. So there are add-ons. There's some that makes you quickly know when someone just filled the form and it gets to you as an email. Just check the add-on. Add collaborators. Yes, if you want people to help you in adjusting the questions, specific questions that you already have, yeah, you can add collaborators as well. You could delete, you could make a copy of this form, and a whole lot. You have a whole lot of. I would advise that you do more in using some of the other questions as well. Um, there are still other questions you can use, so like the multiple choice grid, the check boxes, and all. So that will be all for now. Um, just to recap from where we started from, uh, we said you could use. We focused on when to use surveys, the types of online survey tools, types of questions in surveys, while going through hands-on the use of Google Drive or or the Google Forms that is in within Google Drive to create surveys. We said it is important to create questionnaires at the beginning of your program and also at the end of a program. So if you have a training, you have a pre questionnaire. At the end of the training, there's a post questionnaire for you to know how much you've impacted your beneficiaries or your attendees. Is very good. Um, we focused on indicators for this particular demonstration. We looked at strengthening the capacity of grade 5 pupils, 70 of them in the area of STEM, and we focused on indicators at the immediate outcome stage, whereby with our training we want to quickly see what has changed, their level of knowledge as it regards mathematics component of STEM. We also look at type of online survey tools. Here you have SurveyMonkey, you have Cover tools, you have Google Forms itself, you have type forms, and a whole lot of other forms that you can use as well. And we talked about types of questions in surveys. So you could have open-ended questions and close-ended questions. These are short, open-ended questions where you have your first name, father's name. Then you have questions. Closed questions are like this, which gives you alternatives. These are closed questions. These are closed questions, gives you alternatives. And a popular, well, we also said that open-ended questions are always find at the end of at the end of your survey. In Google Drive, is known as paragraph, and I'm going to quickly do that. So give your comments on the training program. This is an open-ended question, so people can give a long answer about it. So might not be required, but don't forget we need to make sure all our questions are required because these ones are important. They are important questions, so we need to make sure people know that they are required. So that's what we've been through in this skill share. Our next skill share will focus on quickly running analysis of of uh, of the survey we have created already, and just for us to note, so we'll be focusing on analysis. Um, Thank you very much for your time. Like I said, if you have questions, comments, suggestion on this online Skillshare, please do comment on the blog post, or you can check us out at cloneshouse.com. You can drop us an email. If this is useful for you, please do let us know. We want to do more of this as well. And we hope you join us, or you look out for the video of how to use your Google spreadsheets in Excel in particular to do data analysis from the data you've collected on ground from your respondents. Don't forget, you can go to our website, cloneshouse.com, and leave comments as well. There's much resources on that page as well. You can check in there and get a hold of some of the resources. Thanks a lot for your time. We hope to see you on the other side. Best of luck in all you do as a monitoring and evaluation advocate. Bye.